A simple idea, perhaps an idea as old as the hills. Certainly Nike knows about this idea, right? The idea itself is something that is important, something that matters to all of us. And I want to tell you that really what is different about this idea is to truly look within yourself, to believe in yourself, to believe and then look beyond. And it is in that looking beyond, it is in that understanding how to make that change really happens. As I tell you how I came to this idea, it was on a cold winter day in November of 2000. I lived in Warsaw and in Poland. I lived as a global expatriate, non-resident Indian. I blacked out while volunteering in my son's classroom. I spent the whole day in a neighborhood clinic and in excruciating pain. I was constipated. I had 4 enemas pumped into me. That night, I was in a military hospital, and in an emergency procedure, a ping-pong-sized tumor was removed from my colon. I had cancer. 3 surgeries, 9 chemotherapies, the loss of my hair, a colostomy, the reversal of that colostomy, deep dark depression, and then a month of antidepressants. And 1 year later, I was a cancer survivor. I didn't ask why me. I just lived in constant fear of dying. I was constantly worried about my children. They were 7 and 3 years old. A lot of that time was really filled with regrets. The regrets were around me. I have God-given intelligence, remember, St. Stephen's College. And I had a privileged upbringing, I had a great education, I had a decade of civil services experience behind me by then. We were well off, we lacked for nothing. I had lived all over the world, I had met people from all over the world. And then what did I have to show for it? What had I done with all that God had given me? So as the joy of reading came back into my life, in Paul Coelho's Alchemist, I read that every one of us has a personal legend, and realizing that personal destiny is our true obligation. Whatever happens in life, good or bad, happens for a purpose. But hey, I had the big C, cancer. So that was my aha moment. That was the moment that I actually truly understood that I had talent, I had ability, I could make a difference because I am able, because I can. We came back to India in June of 2002, as my sons put it, for them to find their roots and for me to give back. So, others have made the same choices. They too learned about giving back. I met Sonal Sharma in All India Institute, where the two of us used to volunteer and sit in the back benches of a crowded OPD playing with children with cancer. Sonal's daughter Gungun had also had cancer, and funnily enough, in the same year that I had. Sonal told me that on the day that she finished her treatment, as they were driving out of the hospital, Anuraga, her husband, stopped the car and said, Sonal, we have to decide something now, and we have to truly believe in it for the rest of our lives. We have 2 ways. We can either look up to God, thank Him for Gungun, forget all about the cancer, and simply move on. Or we make a promise to ourselves. We promise that we will stay here for the rest of our lives, and we will hold the hand of every single family of a child who is faced with cancer. So Sonal and I went to a pediatric cancer conference, and at that conference, organized by the International Confederation of Childhood Cancer Parents Organizations, we learned that childhood cancer was different from adult cancers. That 70 to 95% childhood cancer is curable. And that we could set up a support group. And they would give us a how-to manual. So now we knew what to do and how to do it. We went to Indian Cancer Society Delhi branch and we asked them whether we could set up a separate unit for children with cancer. And thus, in January 2004, Can Kids Kids Can was formed. We met Nina. Nina had brought her father's dead body back from the USA where she had taken him for treatment and where they had battled his cancer. Nina has seen a family of a lot of cancer and a lot of death, even her sisters. But Nina again chose to come and join us and be our co-founder. We met Surbi, the quintessential caregiver. Surbi's entire family has colon cancer, her husband as well. And we met Sonia Sekri. Sonia lost her son Kabir at the age of 14 to cancer. When, after his death, she was coming back to India, her doctor in the USA told her, you know, Sonia, you have had so much of experience. You have a real story to share. You can make a difference to palliative care in India. Go back, Sonia, and choose to make that difference. So, let me tell you then about Can Kids. In 2004 to 2008, we really worked hard. We stayed rooted in Delhi and we learned how to hold the hands of families of children with cancer. We developed a whole range of clean support services, from medical support for their children's treatment, to education, to emotional and psychosocial support. We knew how to do our work. We worked in crowded Chatai clinics. And we worked in crowded OPDs. It was difficult. We rolled out our Chatais. We called them woven mats in the US, but for us, they're our Chatais. We worked on these. We offered our support services. And thus was born the concept of a Chatai clinic. Our families who came from outside the city needed help and needed place to stay. They would live on pavements or sometimes in crowded dharamshalas. We evolved the concept of a home away from home. We learned from the Ronald McDonald homes and other such homes in the West. But what we did was we adapted the model. We made sure that we actually created low-cost, sustainable parent and community participation models. Why? Because we knew we wanted to replicate the model and take it across the country. We created mascots. Taklu, the little bald cancer boy, and his little friend Takli, the little bald cancer girl. The idea was to destigmatize that hair loss, to destigmatize cancer. And wouldn't you agree, there is real stigma in the Indian society against cancer? Then you know what? We gave them a friendly pet. And their pet was cake through the crack, because we wanted to take away that ugly picture of that ugly cancer. We wanted the children to get over the fear of cancer, and Kekru has become a symbol of their victory over the disease. We worked hard, we knew where we were going, we learned how to implement our program, and in 2008, we set up hospital support units in cancer centers. We worked across the country, and we spun off and registered as actually a national society, which today is dedicated to change for childhood cancer in India. But my story is really not about my organization, it's not about the journey. This story is still really about choices. It's about the choices that you make and the commitment that you make and that belief that you can. So I want to share with you Usha Rani, completely unschooled, and the daughter of Neha, who is no more. And today she's our patient navigator. There are many others like her who have joined us. We have over 100 parents of children with cancer who have either survived, but these are our parent support group. And what is important to know and understand is that they have all made the choice. They are not from the privileged class. Many of them are even uneducated. People actually asked us, they're uneducated, they're poor, what difference will they be able to make? And today they are patient navigators, they've learned, they made a difference, and that's because they chose. They said, we have been helped, and we want to give back, and we want to help as well. Kids Can Connect is our teenage and young adult club. These are young people who join at the age of 13 and then learn to support each other. They learn to take charge of their health. They learn to cope with the late side effects of their treatment. But then they also learn to create awareness. They write nukkad nataks. They do flash mobs. They are the true advocates. They are the voice because they are a symbol that childhood cancer is curable. And what is important, yet again, is that here is a group of people who were supported and who have now chosen to support others. They have taken their personal challenge and made it into their personal destiny. Hats off to that Kids Can Connect. So then, we know that in our war against cancer, we needed also to work with pediatric oncologists, with stakeholders, with donors. We rope in our doctors, we understand from them how to work better. They guide us and tell us what to do next. We enable standards of treatment. We advocate for standards of treatment. We know that we are fighting a war against cancer, and we know that that war cannot be fought alone. No war can be fought alone. We today are now at that last step of now advocating to the government. We want childhood cancer to be a child health priority in India. So then, the last bit, looking within and beyond, finding the hero within you. On the screen in front of you are many, many heroes. We are the heroes, your everyday heroes. We have chosen to believe that we can make a difference. We have chosen to give back. And we have chosen to believe that we can cancel cancer. I want to leave you with one final thought. And that thought is that we live in a country of 1 billion people with 1 million causes. Which cause is yours? We all need to look within ourselves and then look beyond. Choose a cause, believe in that cause, hold out a helping hand, and choose to make a difference. That's what's important. Gather together with other like-minded people and then work structurally, systematically, tirelessly to make that change. And that is how change happens. Thank you.